1955. And when he got out of high school, he went, it was so funny because he was always picked on because he was so little. Hard to believe, isn't it? There is his Navy picture, and, hi honey, right there, you'll see that what he looked like when he was younger. And he was a skinny little redhead who was always picked on. And he went into the Navy after he graduated high school, and he was in Keflavik, Iceland, and he was at the Pentagon, and he tracked submarines in Keflavik. And then he went to the West Indies, and then I didn't meet him till several years afterwards. He was 31 when we met, and he treated me like a queen. He really did. He was a good man. But what happened was, I asked his sister, that's how I met Bill, was through his sister. And I says, so what did your brother Bill do? And she was like, he digs graves. What? I said, I laughed. I said, no, what does he really do? He digs graves. And he did. He worked in St. Louis at Jefferson Barracks National Cemetery. And he was work leader. And then after I met him in St. Louis. His sister always used to say, one of these days, you've got to come to St. Louis and meet my family. So we met. And the rest is history. But he was really sweet to me. But we had to make a decision. I was living in Denver at the time, and he was in St. Louis and very close to his family. And we talked it out, and so he decided he would move to Denver. And we lived in Denver together for 2 years. And then one of the directors wanted him to become a director. And so he had to go to school and, do all that stuff and do a learning routine. But he had to do it in Memphis, Tennessee. So he went to Memphis, and I stayed in Denver because I had a really good job. And I went to lunch with the girls and said, the only way I'll go to Memphis is if they lay me off. And wouldn't you know, we came back from lunch and I got laid off. We went to Memphis, and we only lived there 10 months. 10 months of fun, that's for sure. We got married there, and my family came down from Maine, and his family came down from St. Louis, and we had a good time. And we got married, and then we honeymooned in Acapulco. There's a book around here somewhere, an album.
Right there.
And basically, because I had planned to go to Acapulco, and the government was real funny about, they were very conservative, and so I wasn't supposed to be living with him at the time, so we
Living in
said,
sin.
So I ended up going to Memphis to be with him, and that's where we got married. And we were there for 10 months, and after 10 months' time, they said, okay, Bill, it's time to move. And we went to West by God, Virginia. We lived there. And Nutter Fort is where we lived, and he used to call it Nutty Fort. Bill had a way with his words. If you knew Bill, you knew that. So we went to Nutter Fort, and we lived there for about a year and a half. And I came home from work one day, and we were renting a really nice house at the time. And I came home, I was all grumpy, and he was like, what's the matter, honey? What's the matter with you? And I said, well, Bill, let me tell you, I hate my job. I hate that we live here, and right now I'm not too sure about you. I don't know what to tell you. He says, maybe you should drink more. So I came home, and we'd have a cocktail and start dancing in the kitchen, and that was enough for me. So we had a wonderful time, and we lived there for a year and a half, and then it was time to move on. See, he signed these mobility papers that said, if we want you to go someplace, you have to go there. So it was, the next stop was upstate New York, and we went there and lived there for about a year and a half. Again, I finally got a good job, and they were ready to hire me, but I felt so bad. I said, I have to tell them, you know, if we're gonna, there's a chance that we're gonna move, because this is a real high profile job, and so, we moved. That's all there was to it, and from there, because I told Bill, I said, I wanna move out west, you know, I had moved from Maine to Colorado, and I wanted to go back out west. And so Riverside opened up, California, Riverside, but it was a huge cemetery. You know, Bill was just starting out, so I didn't think he would get to go to that cemetery, but he didn't get to go. And they had told him, they said, sorry, Bill, we've decided to take the guy from Dayton, Ohio. So he came home and he told me, and I was really upset. And I said, well, I'm gonna stay here. I said, until you go back out west, I'm not gonna meet up with you. So I said, you just wait and see if they don't give you Dayton, Ohio. And don't you know, within a few days, he got the call to go to Dayton. And he said, oh no, I can't go to Dayton. He said, I can't do another divorce. So we hung out in upstate New York. We stayed there about a year and a half, I think it was. And we lived in, directors had a house there, and we lived in it. And so everything went well, and then shortly after that, they offered him San Francisco. So San Francisco, oh, I was okay with that one. So we moved up to San Francisco, and that's the longest we ever stayed anywhere. I think it was about 7 years. But when we first got there, all it did was rain. They were just coming out of a drought. I don't know if you guys remember that. I think it was around 91. And we'd get there, and I was waiting for the sun to come out so I could get outside. And all it did was rain, and everybody was so happy it was raining. But we lived through that, and his next assignment was in Los Angeles. And he loved it, because you know, Bill loved to be the center of attention. So he met all kinds of movie stars, and he was in movies, and yeah, he was in, I don't know if you remember this, The Rock.
Yeah.
He was in that, but he was in the like the last scene, they had a, let me see.
A presentation of the play.
No, they didn't have that. They had, the last, a funeral. I don't know if you remember, Robert Redford and James Gandolfini were both in the movie. And Robert Redford died. So Bill dressed up like a three-bird colonel, and didn't you love that?
Oh.
Well, Robin Wright penned as she was at the funeral, but this happened right around 9/11. And so we sat through the whole movie, the credits, everything. It's like, where are you, Bill? What's going on? He said, I don't know. By the time we got home, they told us that he was on the cutting room floor. He was like, oh, we didn't make it that far. Because they couldn't show that scene because of 9/11. So from there, from San Francisco, we went on to Los Angeles. And, or did I say that? Yes, I repeat myself. So from Los Angeles, we went to San Diego, and that's where Bill ended his career. Because we wanted to stay there longer, but we didn't because they wanted him to go to Texas. And I said, why would you go to Texas from San Diego? Yeah. I said, I'm not going. And so he talked to his superiors, and he said, can I get an early retirement? And they let him have it. So we lived down, these people over here are all from Ocean Beach, my good friends, our good friends, I should say. So we went to San Diego. We weren't there that long, I think it was 4 years. But we liked it so much, and we made so many great friends. These guys are great friends. And we ended up renting a house and staying there. And then we rented another house, so we stayed longer. So we stayed there for quite a while. But it got to the point where, it was so expensive, we couldn't stay any longer, and I told Bill, I said, we should look into a retirement community. And that's when we came up here to Las Cruces, and we made incredible friends. They were all over the place. But, after that, we were getting older, aren't we all? So we got older and we decided that, COVID hit us, so we stayed home, and then we just got too old to go out running around like we used to. We used to have parties in Ocean Beach. In fact, some of the kids called it Ocean Land. We did party. And I'd go to my local bar, and he would, Shawnee, where is Shawnee?
Good
Left. There he is. He was my bartender. Not bad, huh? Embarrassing drinks that were just unbelievable, and I was pretty clever on it. Came up here, gradually stopped drinking so much and partying so much, and we were just getting old, and we would talk about that and say, we've had a really good life.
Yeah.
And we did have a good life.
Oh, you have to remember those good memories.
Yeah. And so, we'd sit on the couch and talk and say, we like heroin, we like to be at home, which is what we did, and then it's stupid water. We had a backup with a water system, and Dan, where is Dan? There he is, right there. Came over to help us out. We asked him if he knew somebody, but no, Dan will come over himself, which is what he did, and he crawled under the house to see if he could find a stoppage, and Bill was just standing outside, watching and waiting, and unfortunately, Bill had a heart attack, and we kept him alive for a few days. The doctor told me that, the doctor told me that he was brain dead, and we had to let him go. Well, we can keep him on life support forever, and that's not what Bill would have liked. I talked to his brother and his sister, and they were both like, no, let him move on. And that's what we did. We did everything that Bill wanted. He was an organ donor, which we didn't know about. He saved 2 lives. And he will be buried at Jefferson Barracks in a couple of weeks with his family there. And some of the Livingstons are coming with us. Well, not coming with us, but they'll be there. And my daughter's coming. She's been a sweetheart. But Bill had a good life, and he's gone too soon. We all loved him. He was a wonderful person. And that's all I have to say. But if you guys would like to eat or drink, there's plenty to have, or you'd like to tell a story, you're more than welcome to. But we will eventually have some pictures to put up on the TV.
There's a little video montage of a bunch of pictures to music, Bill's life, that Linda, where's Linda? Oh,
He's on his way.
okay. Linda's son put together, and hopefully it's a fun, beautiful piece for you all to view.
Linda and I spent a lot of time putting those pictures together, so we hope you enjoy them as much as we do. But these pictures are not just of Bill, they were Bill and his friends and his family, and so they're always smiling, always laughing. So, get up, enjoy yourself. If you're hungry, please have plenty of food. And I want to thank, there's been so many people that have helped me, and I want to thank you for that. Debbie and Eddie and God. Kathy. It's funny how you can forget people's names right now. But anyways, you'll notice there's a lot of memorabilia on the table, pictures of us all. I'm looking at a picture right now of when,
Whose wedding was that, Gloria?
that's
Linda.
Linda's wedding,
Play
and her
center days.
husband. And, so there's a little something at each table to look at. There's the albums up here, and there's punch, there's iced tea. What else do we have? We have beer. and wine.
Beer, we have beer here.
And I saw,
There's a special punch being made.
No, there is.
yeah.
Steve,
Party
Steve
punch.
from the Livingston side of the family, believe me, they know about beer. So help yourselves, get up and.
Bravo.